Here are 5 facts about women that are going to offend you. Number 1, women date up, not down. Women prefer to date men who earn more than them, not the other way around. Number 2, women prefer men who are older. Why? Because older usually means more established, more resources, and more stability. Number 3, women do not actually want equality in marriage. Oh my gosh, why? Because they tend to marry upward, not downward, and that's not equal. That is the total opposite. Number 4, if a woman cannot get the level that she wants, a lot of women would rather stay single than marry down. Yes, that is true. And number 5, and this is the one that triggers and stings people the most. When women are asked if they would rather share a high-value man with other women or be with a faithful man who is lower in status than them, guess who they choose? The high-value man, even if it means sharing. Yes, women would rather compete for the top than settle below their preference. But listen to me. Don't get mad at them. Don't get mad at us. That is just biology, passed down for thousands and thousands of years. But here is the problem. The pool of upward men is smaller, and a lot of men don't want to be that provider role anymore. So what happens? More single women, more single men, more loneliness, and fewer marriages and fewer kids. That is how the game works. So if you're a man, understand what women select for. And if you're a woman, own what you prefer. It's okay. Because human nature doesn't care about your opinions. It just cares about choices.
If you're a woman, your algorithm probably looks like this.
Sometimes I them on the first date.
We do not need men.
I would leave my man if he lost all his money.
I'll cheat on him back if he cheat on me.
Men, our algorithms for some reason seem to be primed much differently.
You're just a bitch.
They gear towards the personal development side. How to walk, talk, make money, get jacked, improve your circumstance, stoicism. This is a massive generalization, I know, but if you were to ask most people, they would agree that this falls in those buckets for the most part. Why would they want to make one gender aim for self-improvement and make the other one aim for self-destruction? Hey, it's me from the future. Just want to say I love my life. Genesis shows the pattern. The serpent goes for Eve not because she's weak, but because she is the gate of life, motherhood, and the household. Mind you, Adam is not without fault here. He still failed to lead and protect. The woman was deceived and the man got passive. If you wanted to break society, you start by breaking the family. If you want to break the family, you go after the bond between man and woman. If you want to break that bond, you confuse women about marriage, sex, independence, and motherhood. Why would you attack women first? Because women shape what men pursue. If you change what women reward, you shape who men become. If women rewarded traits like leadership, discipline, responsibility, men would become that. But if women were somehow primed and trained to reward things like chaos, promiscuity, emotional manipulation, shallow attention, then no amount of male self-improvement content is going to fix the end result. That is the trap I want you to understand. The system tricks men into thinking they're leveling up, but then it trains the reward system, women, to value something completely different. This is a generalization and also a theory. There are plenty of good men out there, and there are also plenty of really good women out there as well. If you're a man and you happen to find yourself one of those women, the answer to all this is have as many babies with her as physically possible.
So many women say they want a high-value man until it's actually time to have a high-value man. Being with a high-value man is so much more than being with a man that has money. High-value men are very big on accountability. High-value men tend to be very blunt and don't sugarcoat much. You may get a little time to wallow in your feelings, but eventually it's time to move on. High-value men like high-maintenance women. High-maintenance women is not snobby women, not mean women, not rude women. High-maintenance women are women who care about the exterior as much as they care about the interior. They go to the gym, they get their hair done, they get their lashes done, they get their nails done. Whatever their exterior looks like, it's always together. Wanting to go on a 6-month hiatus and just not care about what you look like when you walk out of the house is not going to work. If that high-maintenance man decided that he wasn't going to go to work and stop making money and stop paying bills, there would be a problem. High maintenance men are quiet, private, and low-key. High maintenance men do not argue, they communicate. High maintenance men will walk away from an argument before continuing to engage. High maintenance men work. So no, they're not going to sit on the phone with you for an hour in the middle of the day when they're working. High maintenance men are going to teach you. They're going to pour into the places that you are lacking.
Where are all the good men? We hear this time and time again on social media. Women wondering where the good men are, why they can't find a good man. And in the next breath, they're choosing what the original commenter said, which was, I chose the bear. And then this is the response to it. No, I choose men so I can traumatize them. Excuse me, what? If a man said he was going out to date women for the purpose of traumatizing them, that man would be called an because that man would be a woman that wants to traumatize men. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not silly. It's and women say, where are all the good men? They're hiding from women that weaponize the family courts. They're hiding from women that make false allegations. They're hiding from women that steal their children. They're hiding from women that choose the bear. They're hiding from women that invalidate their emotions. They're hiding from women that want to traumatize them. They're hiding from women like you. You can't see or find good men because they're hiding from you.
So women don't want all your attention. I actually think most women would have zero respect for you if you gave them all, if you're my everything. I don't think they want that. I think what they want is a man who wants to get out there and bend the world to his will and take on battles and do the whole thing, all those masculine ideals, right? That we've now couched as toxic in some fashion. But no, I think the world was built by men of will. And I say it as one. I want to go out in the world and bend it to my will. I want to build things. And that's a beautiful thing. And that there's a lot to be proud of in that. And I think there's a lot that's deeply attractive in that. I think there's a lot of women that would be oh yeah, that's really attractive that the men, because what else, if I can do that, what else, what can I do for you? What can I help you do? What can I do to protect you and preserve this thing we have? To have that discipline, that tenacity, to have given up so many things along the way, to not sleep in, to go to the gym, to do all the things I've done to get to that place. It tells you something about who I am. And if I bring that same thing to our relationship, that's going to be a strong relationship that has value, right?
This guy did a video about what I was wearing in the gym. He edited my video to put clothes on me.
What?
You let your woman out like this?
This has got nothing to do with clothes. This has got to do with certain men hating women. If I came into the gym with my nipples out, yeah, no one's going to say a word.
People care so much about what women wear in the gym. Think that we dress like this for male attention. Even if there was no men on this whole entire planet, I'd still go to the gym like this.
It's a sports bra, sports shorts, designed for the gym.
No matter what I wear, people are always going to comment on.
Our fella's weak. Doing anything so he doesn't argue with his beard. It's that beard, she'll want to wear everything, and he just accepts it. Be arsed with that. Is there any need for her to be wearing that in the gym? What's the need in that? What is the need? If you believe that it's all for herself, then you've been brainwashed, Women wearing stuff like that in the gym shouldn't be allowed, You say it's all for themselves, but really it is for male attention. That's why these clothes are made like that, to make people lust. Shouldn't be allowed. If your girl does want to go to the gym and actually wears acceptable clothes, good on you, you found a good girl. But the thing is, if your girl goes there like the way she does, she wants to be everyone's. Stay woke in these streets, big burn.
Hot take, I do think body count matters for both men and women. And now, before everybody comes for me, I'm saying this simply based on the belief that the more frequently you engage in casual, meaningless intimacy with a lot of different people, naturally the less value it will hold for you. And I think that it makes it harder for you to then find and build long-lasting intimacy and love with one person. Assuming that's what you want, because that's what I want, and that's what a lot of people do want. They want long-lasting, healthy, faithful love. But if you don't want that, that's cool. Someone that demonstrates self-control and discipline when it comes to who they choose to engage in intimacy with is a green flag. Personally, I think there are so many reasons why you should be highly selective about who you choose to engage in intimacy with, and I've always felt like that, but to each their own.
They're always saying that women are so complicated, and this confuses me because we're really not. We literally want to do what you want to do, but we just want you to pick it. You pick, you choose, you make decisions. We go along with whatever it is you choose. And if we don't want to, we'll tell you, I don't really want to do that. And then guess what? You pick again. You choose, you make decisions. And then eventually you'll start to learn where are the places that the first time she goes, yeah, let's go there. And where are the places where she goes, I don't really want to go there. You learn where those places are and then you pick those things. We just want you to lead. Why are we making decisions? I don't want to make decisions. That's your job. I'm just supposed to follow you wherever you go. Quit asking me what I want. You ask what I want you to make a decision. That's what I want. I don't want to even be in the conversation of what's going on. I just want to get in. Okay. That's what I want.
Call me old-fashioned, but I don't think women should have to work. I think as a man, if you have a partner you should put her in a position to get to choose to work, to get to choose what she wants to do with her life, not have to work. And I'm not saying like, hey, we all got to grow. Yes, sometimes it's not available, but you should strive to provide your wife with the opportunity to do what she wants with her life, not have to wake up 5 days a week and go to a job that she hates. Hey, if she wants to do it, great, support her in that. But if she's like miserable and doing it because she has to, try harder, try to put her in a position where she gets to choose what she does. Just a thought.
And what Lauren was saying is, she said basically women would rather settle for the high value man, and you know, share him basically than settle for like an average man. We'd rather go with him and share him. They're thinking like he's got all of the resources, and even if he's, you know, putting up with all of these other women and you know, being with all of these other women, we can get a little piece of that, right? Instead of building your own thing, like we talked about in some other commentary, instead of building and doing your own thing, you'd rather try to take what somebody else has built. And then I think what the issue is that these modern women, they do eventually get jealous, and they're very self-centered to where they think they're unique and that the man should pay attention to them. They go into this knowing how the man is, knowing that the man has plenty of women to entertain, even if he's not sleeping with all of them. These women will do stuff for that man. These women, and it's crazy, these women will reciprocate, and that man will be giving them nothing. He might take them to dinner every so often. Whereas you have some of the guys that are more average, that might not have the same level of resources. Those men are willing to take you to dinner and give you a lot more time and energy, but you have to put in a little bit more work. Modern women are lazy and they don't want to do that.
All these women online constantly crying about age gap, saying things like men only date younger women because they're easier to manipulate, or they only date younger women because they can't get women their own age. Horse. That's like saying men only drive Lamborghinis because they can't afford a Honda Civic.
Where in the world are all the women crying about the age gap? Ain't no woman crying about that. If anything, they're calling it out because it's creepy. Yes, men only date younger women because they're easier to manipulate. Yes, men only date younger women because they can't get a woman their own age. Yes, men only date younger women because these men have nothing to offer, but the younger women don't realize it yet. Oh, and by the way, this guy thinks it's okay for a 40-plus-year-old man to date an 18-year-old girl. Just be honest and admit that you don't like women, okay? You like girls. Listen, I know I'm not the only one who thinks this is weird.
Feminism's greatest weapon, you go girl culture. This whole you go girl thing between women is almost like a social tool that feminism created, where women encourage each other to do things that are terrible for themselves. And you'll notice that even women who claim to be anti-feminism and conservative participate in you go girl culture. And the reason it's able to infect so many women is because it uses women's natural instinct for indirect competition with one another. Men naturally compete with physicality, with logical facts, whereas female competition is more emotional and backhanded. Body positivity is the perfect example of this. A woman will almost never tell a fat girl that she's fat and that she needs to lose weight, and one of the most instinctual reasons for this is to lessen her potential competition for mates and resources. Women encourage each other to stay fat, to go out more, to slut themselves out, because everyone deep down knows that these are bad things. And it's funny because every girl thinks that she's the exception. Women will say, I don't go out for anyone but myself. I don't do it for guys. I do it for me, to let loose a little. But it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna say that. No girl's gonna say, I go out because of FOMO and I listen to peer pressure and I want to get male attention. Of course, she's just gonna say, I do it for myself. Most women simply aren't self-aware enough to realize why they do what they do and aren't mentally strong enough to resist the fear of missing out from going out and from all of their friends. But the minority of smart women realize that while the idea of going out is enticing, the risk that something bad happens that scars you for life just isn't worth it. Smart women know that just because something is fun and other women do it doesn't automatically mean that you should do it.
Yup, y'all didn't. Y'all pushed me to my limits. I'm done. I'm stepping away from these dating apps. Why, you might ask? Because women play too much. I used to be on your side and be like, you know what? Yeah, maybe a guy should, do more and do this, that, and the third. But nah, y'all are making yourself single. I'm sorry to say it, but just from my experience, it's I don't want to get into it, bro, but I'm done. Maybe I might step into a more coaching role, and I'll help some guys out, help them boost their profile, tell them what to say if they need some help. But beyond that, that's it. I'm done. I'm not stepping into the game no more. That's it. These 2027, man.
I'm standing on the train and look at all these men. What happened to giving up your seat for women? No, man.
I feel like a hard thing for a lot of people to swallow is that chivalry is rooted in misogyny, okay? Just objectively. Anytime something like this comes up, I want you to ask yourself, okay, so men should do XYZ for women because, in this instance, men should give up their seats for women because are women's legs not as strong? Do women get tired more easily? What's going on here? Another hard pill to swallow is if we genuinely want a lot of men to view women as equals, this is going to be the status quo. And I told you guys after the election, I'll bring this up every time it comes up. You wanted men to elect a woman to be president, but somehow women can't even stand up on public transportation. But of course, women can do both of those things, all right? But the problem is, since chivalry has been such an established thing, and it's been established as like being like a gentleman, blah, 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 and it seems like a nice thing, it's seen as rude to not abide by these norms. But the thing is, if you break down the norms as to what they are, it is not very kind towards women. Again, like if you ask yourself, why am I doing this? It's not a very good reason. Like, oh, why am I opening a door for this woman? Because women shouldn't open doors? Is it because their arms aren't as strong? Oh, I'm paying for this woman's food because she can't pay it. She can't. Obviously, there's exceptions to this. Like if a woman's getting in front of you, like stepping in, like that's just human decency. Because if you're seeing anybody get beat up or something, it's probably a better idea to step in. But you understand the general vibe of what I'm saying. Every single gentlemanly act that you can do for a woman is saying that woman is inept at doing that act. Some people are like, oh, but it's just a kind gesture, blah, blah, blah. If you wouldn't do the same gesture for a man, it's not just a kind gesture, it's misogyny, okay?
So you guys just want to stay single, right?
True. A lot of gentlemen out there would honestly rather stay single.
Because why else would you stop approaching women in public entirely?
Other than the reason that a lot of women have told men to leave them alone, they don't want them in their lives and they don't need them, quite frankly, a lot of women's personalities really aren't conducive to an actual conversation, let alone a relationship.
Because I feel like back in the day, like early 2000s, maybe the 90s, it was so common for men to walk up to women and, start a little conversation. Nowadays, that does not seem to happen anymore.
There's a lot of men out there have woken up and seen what some women out there are really like. So, frankly, most of them would rather stay single than risk being with some of the types of women that they see every day on social media.
So tell me, why is it that you guys would rather just alone?
Because a lot of men have realized that it's not only easier, but it's much more peaceful being single. And not only that, but a lot of men have woken up to the fact that they have self-respect, and they don't need to be in a relationship to be considered a complete person.
Dating apps is really not in favor of men. And the reason I say that is because the problem with dating apps is that attractive women get all the attention, right? So dudes, they probably got 100, 200 dudes that swipe right. Now the woman has to sift through all these dudes. It's a bunch of cornballs and weirdos, all types of, right? So now she get through about 20 of the people that swipe right. And she like, I'm over it. These dudes is weird, I'm out of here, right? So now, by the time she gets to you, she like, I'm not with it. Then the other problem is too, it's mad catfish, mad weirdos doing catfish pages, mad fake pages. So it really, dating apps don't benefit men. And women get annoyed by all the weirdos. So it's like, it's almost like playing the lottery, trying to find someone on the dating app if you're a guy. And then the other thing, attractive women, they're not even swiping through dudes' pages or going through dudes' pages. It's usually the unattractive chicks that shooting their shot. So it's a lose-lose for men in dating apps. Dating apps are trash for men.
Women only want one thing, and it's money. They don't want a real man or leader. All they want is commitment with zero responsibility. Loyal women don't exist anymore. Feminine women are almost extinct. What happened to loyalty? What happened to the good women? You men sound like angry little girls every time you say that. Those so-called male podcasts that you keep watching are making you even more feminine. Yep, I know this is triggering for you, but I don't care. When you talk like that, it tells me everything about you. The women you chose, the ones you're attracted to, and the ones that you keep ending up with. That's why you believe all women are like that. Your view of women is dictated by your own weak choices. No, it's not that all women only want money. It's that you keep attracting women who only want money from you. You chase looks and drama over her character, and then you cry when you get exactly what you asked for. Listen. When a real loyal woman shows up, you ignore her. She's not a bimbo, so you don't give her the time of day. She's consistent and calm, but you crave the drama from the hot mama. You say you want peace, yet the second a hoe bag gives you attention, you drive headfirst into her chaos. You push the good ones away, and then you blame it on all women. Maybe your mom wasn't around much. Maybe you never saw a healthy relationship growing up. Maybe you have wounds that you refuse to heal. Fix that thing first. Stop chasing the shiny trash. Heal, lead, become a better masculine man, and stop watching those male podcasts. They are making you stupid.
And there was a guy saying that, essentially there was one guy who was saying, there's a lot of these ladies out on the internet crying about the age gap, like the dating age gap between men and women. And another guy responded to him. He was like, where are these women at? There's no women crying about that. Are you living under a rock? Are you just putting glue in your ears? You don't want to hear what these modern women are saying? Well, if they are doing it, then it's creepy. It's creepy how? Because you don't want to mind your business? Well, if they're doing it, it's probably because they want to control and manipulate these women. If they're having a drink, I'm thinking about a woman right now. She was with a dude that was older than her, and they spent, I want to say, better part of legit 10 years together. Legitimately 10 years together. And I guess she really liked it, and he really liked it. Recently split up, but they would do everything together. She was really in love with that guy. She was really in love with that man. And, it looked like every time you saw them, they were having a good time. They would go on vacation. They would be doing some more down to earth. Well, not every time. Actually, not every time you saw them, right? But they were living a regular, normal life. They really liked each other. And we like to say that men are predators. And we like to spin off this narrative and throw this narrative out there that men are manipulating these women, when actually that's not the case at all. I don't know who y'all like to associate with, or who y'all be around, or what kind of movies or TV shows y'all be watching, but y'all need therapy, and you need to go get your head checked if that's what you think.
Does modern dating punish emotionally available people?
So the people who are emotionally unavailable have a much better time on dating apps than the emotionally available people.
Why?
So emotionally available people, they want something of substance. They want a relationship that will go the whole way. They want the slow burn. They want gradual development. And a lot of the dating apps now, if you look at a profile, most of the things that they advertise on a profile, if you were to go on there and look at someone's profile, it'll talk about the person's age, the things they enjoy doing, but it doesn't talk about what's their conflict repair. What's their love language? What's their emotional availability? What's their emotional capacity? What's their emotional maturity? It doesn't assess for any of those things. And so what happens is people are bonding over surface level things. Oh, we went to the same school. We live in the same town. You like the same food I like. or physical attraction, but it's not really assessing any compatibility regarding relationship values. And I think that's where a lot of people are getting attached to the wrong people.
The worst thing a woman can do, statistically speaking, is to get married to a man.
Let's double check.
Married women do not live as long as single women.
The opposite is actually true. Large-scale longitudinal data shows that married women past 65 live about 2 years longer than unmarried women. The same goes for men.
They do not earn as much money as single women.
This blames marriage for what is actually a motherhood gap. Married women who don't have children actually make 2% more than unmarried women without children.
They are not as happy as single women.
This claim actually comes from a famous book that misread its own data. 40 years of GSS data show a 30-point happiness premium favoring married couples over single women and men. My goal here isn't to criticize women or men who are choosing to stay single, but as someone trying to build a community around how men can be better partners, please don't feel shame if you want to find happiness in marriage.
Would you recommend dating apps? What are your thoughts on dating apps?
I'll be blunt. Dating apps, I think, are a bunch of very injured and scared people trying to find other injured and scared people to have a experience with and to not be alone. Back in 1995, 65% of people met their partner through family friend networks. Now, last year, 30 years later, it's reversed. 12% meet through family and friend networks. 65% meet through dating apps. It is opposite. Through all of human history, every woman on the planet met her partner through family friend networks. So she had 20, 30 years of data on him. What was he like when he was toilet training? What is his sister like? Yeah. Was he nice or mean to his sister? Right. How does he grow? Who has he slept with? She had every ounce of data, and he had every reason to be polite and kind and gentle, because if not, both of their networks would gather together and beat him with clubs. So she was safe. She wasn't dating a stranger anymore. Today, that has reversed. Most women are dating strangers, and men are too. That's why everybody's terrified.
Okay, I want to address something that I think is really important. I feel like a lot of men are tired of women, and I actually understand why, and I get it. Us as women can be very delusional sometimes, and I know people might come in the comments and hate me for saying this, but it's very true. We require things from men that we shouldn't actually require, especially if you know you are not interested in that man or want anything from that man. You still require him to treat you with things that you shouldn't really be obtaining. And if you think about it deeply, if you had a son, would you want your son to spend money on a woman that he doesn't know is sure about him? Would you want your son to consistently be putting himself out for a woman that does nothing in return for him? Now, I'm not saying that a woman should bend over backwards for a man that's not her boyfriend or her husband, but I'm saying give a little where it's due. Do you get what I'm saying here? I feel like a lot of the times as women, we dismiss men. We dismiss how they feel, we dismiss their boundaries, and we kind of make them feel like less than. And it's not nice. Men have emotions, they feel too. And I feel like even when we as women say we want our man to have emotions, we want him to have that, as soon as he lets out his emotions, what happens? He's a Do we need to have more grace when it comes to men? Or are we at the point where we as women are just tired of men, so we just be saying what we want to say in retaliation to the anger that we feel inside for them? Comment below.
The digitization of mating, I believe, has been a disaster. It's been bad for women. It's been disastrous for men.
Dating apps have turned connection into a marketplace. They've gamified attraction, and the algorithm rewards looks, status, and fast dopamine. Now we have a whole generation of people who are lonelier than ever. So what's the solution? Sadhguru says that if you are joyful by your own nature, you will naturally attract beautiful relationships. So this might seem old school, but put your phone away. Stop outsourcing connection to dating apps and start living your life with joy. Be present, smile, make eye contact, talk to strangers, invest in friendships and community. Not because you're trying to get something, but because when you live with love, you become magnetic. And the very moment you open your heart to in-person connection is when you'll start to attract more meaningful relationships into your life.
I see girls commenting saying that they would love to be approached by a man, and I just want to say I don't believe you.
Oh, I believe women want to be approached. Oh, 100%. Women aren't lying that they want to be approached. There's just a few things you have to take into consideration about this. Number one is they want to be approached by men they find attractive. right? And I think you went on in some of your videos and you did talk about how attraction matters, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And I say it all the time, that attraction matters. And that's what a lot of women want. Women just want men who they find attractive to approach them. Now, there's also women who want men to approach them, whether they find them attractive or not, because they really do want that validation. Right. That's why there is a lot of women who go, oh, I want you to approach me, just because they're just, whether they like you or not, or want you to or not, from an attractive standpoint, they just want the validation. They want people to hit on. It's that free, feel good juice, as you can say. You know, it feels good. You know, when someone hits on you, even though you know you're not attracted to them, the fact that someone hit on you will make you feel good, right? There you go. That's pretty much what it comes down to. But no, women 100% want men to approach. I mean, rates are sky high. So, I mean, people, yeah.
Was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends, and we were on the topic about how women want men based on what they see that relationship look like on the outside, right? And they usually think that it is the man, but it's not usually the man. It's the woman that's supplying that lifestyle. It's the woman usually that's exposing that man to that life, that world. That is her world, and then she's bringing him into it. And he treats her based off of how she treats herself. So if she has this world that she's already cultivated, she has these standards for herself, she has this respect for herself, he has to give her the same respect that she gives herself. That is just cause and effect, right? Most women think that if they get the same man, that they will get.
Women don't feel safe with masculine men. They feel safe with men that they can control. A man that a woman can't control is often very masculine. And the nature of how that works is, that's the man that exposes you to your vulnerabilities the deepest. And here's what's beautiful about that. That means that he brings you closest to yourself and the beauty that inspires greatness in man. But a lot of women don't have a very strong relationship with that part. So what ends up happening is they see the masculine man, they either run or try to shut it down, like it's something they're up against. But ultimately what it does elicit is a lot of insecurities and inadequacies in relationship to that feminine essence. And this was also true for men. They see a really feminine woman, man, do you think they want anything to do with that? That means they have to man up. No, they're looking for the thing that they can control. And often what we can control is what doesn't make us feel any inadequacy or insecurity in relationship to it. There's a feeling of familiarity. There's a comfort in knowing how this story is going to end.
Just watch. I prefer a man that cheats than one that doesn't have anything.
Okay. Why?
Yes, because actually a man is supposed to be a provider. Yes. Listen, a man is supposed to be a provider. A man is supposed to be a provider. So if you don't have, I cannot marry in the name of love and you don't have anything. It can't happen, because at the end of most of these guys, when you help them out, at the end of the day, when they now hammer, they could change them for you. Even some men, wait. Even some men, they don't have. They are still cheating. So it's better you stick to the one you know that you have. And not that you can afford anything. Everything, right? But what I'm going to say is, personally, I would prefer a man that is wadded and he cheats than a man that is broke and he's faithful.
Don't expect an African man to be loyal to you.
Oh, it ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen because they are very used in their culture to have, they would love their wife down, but they will still have other women. So it just...
Don't you feel like that about most men?
Yes, but most men are gonna hide that, especially American black men. They're gonna hide that because they wanna, it's a lot of, that's the thing, you know, because one thing I know about black men is they're not allowed to be vulnerable. A lot of black men, and that's why you see all this vulnerable men, black men who are on Instagram or any content creators who are vulnerable, they gain millions of followers because that's an anomaly. That's not normal for a black man because it's dangerous for you to be vulnerable. You say the wrong thing, you can get for that.
And I really like what the lady was saying when she was basically saying, you know, a lot of this stuff on dating apps is very surface level. I think dating apps, they give you the they give you the opportunity to talk to somebody and say, hey, do you like this person? With the way that they present the options to you and try to make you pay for premium, quote unquote, like stuff that should be basic. They try to make you pay for those premium options. And a lot of people do end up paying for it. They're expecting a huge pull. And I know a lot of, they say that men do, but a lot of modern women, they'll pay the premium to say, okay, I want this filter and we're going to filter out all of these men. And then I want these men right here. This is what I want. And my dating life is going to be so much easier because I'm connecting with the men that I want and I'm actually attracted to. So even before they've read a biography, even before they've actually assessed who a man actually is, they're cutting out 99% of potential matches, potential people that, you know, you could end up with in life. So that's an issue in and of itself. But then when they finally get to the men that are 6 foot, now they're finally starting to really honestly and truly, the bio is the last thing. They're looking at surface level stuff and they're saying, oh, I like that. And then, you know, instead of looking at what they actually need to be looking at, they're waiting for the man to take them out on the date. And they say, oh, you know, I felt the spark. It's all going to work out. Bada bing, bada boom, it's done. Right? But essentially, instead of working the app like you should and saying, okay, once again, you know, what does the bio say? What kind of education do they have? What is their religion? Based on these photos and what they're saying, do they have any prompts that I can listen to? How does their voice sound? How are they talking? Based on all of that, what type of person might they be? So you can get a small understanding of who they are, and then kind of know how to talk to them if there should be a conversation, right? It's a lot of work, but you're spending money, and you don't want to waste your money just flipping through loser women or men that, you know, when y'all connect, you be like, oh man, we connected, let's go. And then they don't really have anything to say. So you need to start taking time and trying to figure out who these people actually are.
These are 3 things that keep me at peace when it comes to women. Let's get it. 1, I have a disease called I don't give a syndrome. This shit shows up in 1 in 1,000 men that's born every day across the world, right? It's very rare. It's like, I really don't give a what a girl does. If she don't text back, I don't give a If we're in a talk stage and I'm in them guts and another dude comment on her picture, I don't give a If she want to leave, I don't give a bro. Like, this is crazy, bro. There's 4 billion girls on earth. And you think I'm gonna stress over one? You crazy. There's 3 things you never chase in life: a bus, a train, and a female. Cause another one's coming. You heard me. 2, there's no such thing as a good girl. The chances of you finding a pure girl is 1 in 1,000, bruh. You feel me? It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. They all get down and dirty. So anytime I deal with a girl, bro, I just tell myself, bruh, she got a pass. You know, other dudes came before me. Pause, no Diddy. That sound crazy. But yeah, man, like, she ain't innocent, I ain't innocent, but she decent, we can rock out. Now, if she get back to me, yeah, she getting kicked to the curb, you heard me. 3, I'm always willing to walk away at any slight inconvenience. I will not let nothing disturb my peace, especially a female, you feel me? I done seen dudes self-delete, bro, over a female, bruh. Go on Google, search up cases. That's crazy. I'm telling you, bruh, love is a drug, and take that in doses. Follow me for more advice, you might never see me again.
When feminists say they don't need men, you ready for this? When feminists say they don't need men, 96% of construction workers are men. 95% of electricians are men. 95% of plumbers are men. 98% of carpenters are men. 94% of HVAC technicians are men. 97% of mechanics are men. 96% of welders are men. 91% of truck drivers are men. And we know what the other 90%
Damn right, Marge.
Yeah.
Large
97% of roofers are men. 95% of oil rig workers are men. 90% of machine operators are men. 85% of network engineers are men. 91% of mechanical engineers are men. 86% of civil engineers are men. 96% of firefighters are men. 85% of police officers are men. 80% of military personnel are men. 90% of pilots are men. 94% of train operators are men. 92% of forklift operators are men.
Wow.
These are some of the riskiest jobs in the world.
Men will never
have to experience loneliness the same way that women do, especially not when it comes to dating. Dating is a male-dominated field, and I will forever stand.
Lie, bro, this is straight gobbledygook, and I'm not even mad. I'm more concerned for her than anything. She literally said any man who doesn't have a girlfriend, it's because he doesn't want a girlfriend, which, as you guys know, is not true. This woman has never heard of an incel. Basically, if that wasn't alarming enough, she also goes on and says this.
Into things because he wanted to take time for himself. He fully has the initiative to do so.
First of all, I'm pretty sure that's not how you use the word initiative. And second of all, she means like the man has the ability to take time for himself and like the autonomy to make that decision. In that when men do that, they just leave the woman stanking and she has to like just wait for the next man to come along. And it's like, first of all, you don't have to do that just because you don't have to do that. But it's scary that she thinks like this because she's genuinely implying that one, women can't break up with men. And two, that when women are single, there's just nothing they just got to sit around waiting. And it's like, you understand, shawty, if you went around taking initiative, that's how you use that, by the way. If you took initiative and started asking out men you were interested in, I guarantee you would have a higher success rate than most men. As much as I would love to talk about this for longer, I kind of have like a situation going on right now. So I'm just gonna show you this picture and this is what's going on. Like this is literally what's happening.
A passport bro is a man who is done with entitled, ungrateful, high mileage women in the West demanding provider status while offering nothing but an attitude and an OnlyFans link. Done with 50% divorce rates, false accusations, alimony, traps, and child support jails. Done with feminism lies. You're toxic if you want a feminine, loyal, fit, debt-free, low body count. So he grabs his passport, flies to Colombia, Thailand, Philippines, Ukraine, Brazil, anywhere but the US. Places where women still value men. Cook, stay slim, don't weaponize, and see marriage as a partnership, not a paycheck. Stats don't lie, my friends. US women initiate 70 to 80% of divorces. 60+% of Western women, 18 to 30, are obese or overweight. The average Western woman, 7+ partners by the age 25, and that's backed by the CDC. 43% of US men under 30 are celibate, rejected, or priced out. Foreign wives, lower divorce rates, higher happiness, traditional values, actual gratitude. Passport bros aren't running, they are upgrading.
Bradley is wrong about why women leave. His whole theory is that men got soft, beta husbands, lazy providers, and if guys would just man up, their wives would stay. His prescription is testosterone, his cure is 1955. Here's where he's missing it. Women file nearly 70% of divorces in this country, and most of the men that I've sat across from were working long hours, coming home to the kids, handling the things she never sees, and still they weren't doing enough. She isn't filing because she's doing two jobs. She's filing because she's been told she's doing two jobs. From inside the room, the women who file aren't the most tired. They're the most connected. She isn't divorcing you. She's divorcing the marriage she watches on her phone all day. The divorced friend posting beach photos captioned, "The soft life saved me." The TikTok therapist diagnosing her marriage in 60 seconds. The single mom influencer with the spotless kitchen, the calm kids, and a morning routine that never includes a husband. The IG coach selling boundaries courses where her husband is always the boundary. The post-divorce glow-up reel, new haircut, new body, new caption. I finally chose me. Every one of these is selling her the same story. The woman on the other side of the divorce is calmer, freer, hotter, and finally herself. Brad's fix is to go backwards, but you can't. You can't unspoil the algorithm. You can't put 2007 back in the box. She isn't filing because she's exhausted. She's filing because she's been told the next chapter is better. She's been told that by everyone in her phone.
There's a pandemic in dating right now, isn't there? And I'm going to tell you this, it's not men, it's not women, it's half interest. Everybody wants full access to someone's heart while offering 30% of their own. We're kind of talking. We're sort of seeing each other. I'm just keeping it casual. Translation, I want intimacy without the responsibility. People don't fear relationships. They fear being seen truly without an escape route. So when it gets real, ghost, breadcrumb, orbit, replace, right? Not because you're toxic, but because you're unhealed and overstimulated. So you're not competing with another person anymore. You're competing with their entire digital universe. And the moment discomfort shows up, swipe, replace, distract. I'm telling you, here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Dating isn't, emotional skills are. See, you can't build deep love with shallow habits. You can't want safety while living in avoidance. And you can't keep blaming the culture if you're still choosing convenience over courage. You know, the real pandemic isn't loneliness. It's emotional illiteracy. And I want to tell you this, it ends the moment you decide to show up differently.
find really funny about videos like these? It's that the women that probably make them most likely consider themselves to be actual feminists that believe in equality. Yet, they seem to think that men should give up their seats for women because it's something that men should do just to be nice. But to me, it rather says that you consider yourself to be less than a man because you need their assistance. You need to sit down. You're not strong enough to stand up on your own. You need a man to do things for you. So you don't consider yourself to be equal at all. So you're not really a feminist, are you? And I know that the term feminism gets a bad reputation, but at the end of the day, feminism, originally at least, meant equality between men and women and equal treatment. So essentially, if you didn't get there in time to get a seat, I guess you're just out of luck.
Do men know that girls are always purposefully late on a first date?
No, they're not. The women with manners and consideration for other people's time are on time, because if a person is late for a date, then that's a good indication that they don't value the other person's time.
If the date's at 8:30, I'm not going to show up at exactly 8:30 and be waiting there for you.
But why? That really doesn't make any sense, especially considering the following.
And if you're a guy, you should be showing up 5 minutes early.
So the guy is supposed to show up early, but the woman is supposed to be somewhat late? Oh my goodness, if it wasn't for double standards, some women would have no standards at all.
What do you guys think? Do you agree with this timing and when you should arrive at a date?
Frankly, no. And any person that would purposefully show up late to an event such as a date is already showing some signs very indicative of the fact that they probably don't have a lot of consideration for that person or the other person's time. And I know it might be old-fashioned to say this, but I really think that basic manners should really start to make a comeback.
Bumble's taking power out of women's hands and giving it to artificial intelligence to do the matching for you. What do you think about this? Do you hear about this? People are panicked. On one hand, I mean, could things really get worse? People are not happy with dating apps anyway. Nobody is satisfied, at least not according to most reports. On the other hand, there's something fundamentally human about, choosing your own life partner. But who am I to know why that's important? Oh, wait, I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield, and there is something fundamentally human about choosing the person who you want to be with forever. Can AI do that well for you? Remains to be seen. My guess is probably not as well as you can do it for yourself.
And like Patrick Bet-David was saying, and he really went down a list of the things that men are actually doing in the world. And you're sitting there talking about, well, we don't need men, yada, yada. Well, no, I don't need a man in my life. I didn't mean that we don't need men. I don't need a man in my life. No, that's not what a lot of these ladies are saying. They're saying they don't want men around at all. They don't need men around at all. They're good for nothing. All they do is hurt women and all that other nonsense. But that man just got through painting your house, and he even did a little extra. He even went the extra mile and said, hey, I noticed that you had this other stuff in the back, so I'll go ahead, just because I'm OCD like that, I want everything to make sure it matches and it's got to be the same. So I went on ahead and painted it for free. A job he probably could have charged you for and made it a pretty good amount of money, he did it for you for free. There's a lot of men who go around neighborhoods, and they've actually built a social media presence based on it. And they might mow a lawn, or they might clean up a sidewalk, or whatever it is, do some housework, yard work, car work. It really doesn't matter, right? And people see that and say, man, that's really cool. And they end up being compensated on the other side. But it started out as me just giving to people. And it's men doing this. And while you sit up here and say that men are terrible, we don't need men, and just get them out of the world, these are men that are helping you when your house is breaking down, when your yard is overgrown, when you're on the side of the road. These are the type of men that stop for you, and they say, hey, do you need help? Oh, no, I'm okay. Are you sure? It's kind of hot outside. I have a little girl at home, and I know if this happened to my little girl, I wouldn't want her out on the street like that. Let me help. No, I really, honestly, at least I can stay here while you call somebody to make sure you get taken care of. Will that be okay? I can wait in my car. There are men that do that. But because modern women shoo men away and tell them, just get away, I don't want you. Okay. Do your thing.